Good afternoon. During the declared emergency in the City of Toronto, Committee of Adjustment virtual public hearings are being conducted by electronic means through WebEx, an online digital platform, and streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel. These measures are necessary to comply with physical distancing requirements and a provincial order that limits attendance at public gatherings. My name is Bruce Mullock, and the panel members this afternoon are Sahir Bahat, Joanne Hayes, Yim Chan, and Erin Cheng. This will be a virtual public hearing. Participants who have registered in advance will be able to make their presentations to the committee using WebEx, an online event platform that is being moderated by city staff. Anyone wishing to view the hearing may do so by watching on YouTube. Participants who have registered in advance will be connecting either by computer, a phone or tablet app, or by telephone. All participants will automatically be muted on entry. When his or her item is called, each participant will be unmuted by the moderator. Only the committee members will be participating by video. Registered participants will be participating by audio only. And we ask that you also mute your devices until you're called to speak. We acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. In accordance with Sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act, 1990, as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for variances from the provisions of the zoning bylaw that apply to property, permission to extend or alter lawful non-conforming uses, and consent to sever property to create new lots. Anyone today who wants to receive a copy of the decision of the committee on an application must submit a written request for a decision by email. Please ensure that you include your name, address, and email address, because Committee of Adjustment and TLAB will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email only. You may not agree with the decision of the committee. Decisions may be appealed to the Toronto Local Appeal Body, TLAB, or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. Appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision. I will call each item in the order it is listed on the agenda. When an application is uncontested, the agent or applicant will proceed with their presentation if so requested by the committee. The committee may ask questions or take the matter into committee for a decision. Each speaker, including the applicant, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee, and I will comment to you when you are approaching the time limit. When addressing the committee, please clearly state your name and address, and remember to confine your remarks to the matters outlined in the application. The applicant or agent will proceed first and may be asked to make a presentation to the committee. Please note that the committee may not entertain revisions to proposals at the hearing today. The committee may decide to defer the application if substantially revised in order to ensure that the revised application is accurate and that those entitled to notice are informed of the changes. Then, individuals either in support of or opposed to the application will be invited to speak. Committee members may ask questions of each speaker after the speaker has finished the presentation. When all speakers are finished, the applicant or agent will have an opportunity to rebut, but only to those issues that were raised by the speakers. And that will mark the end of discussion. The application will then be taken into committee for a decision. Are there any declarations of interest by panel or by staff with respect to this afternoon's time slot? Thank you. And Madam Deputy Secretary Treasurer, are there any requests for deferral?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. On September the 10th, the agent submitted a deferral request for 460 College Street, and that's item 21.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's actually the first item on our afternoon agenda. So I'm going to come back to that very shortly. Are there any requests to close files?
None today.
Okay. So then we can begin by going to number 21, 460 College, and we'll ask the applicant there to join us, and we'll consider this request to defer. So agent, please join us.
We have Daniel Rowe on the line.
Yes, I'm here.
Could you please state your name?
Yes, my name is Daniel Rowe.
Okay. Okay, Daniel, we understand that you wish to see the application deferred. Could you please explain to the panel why you would like to have that done?
Because sadly we didn't have enough time to post the application on time. So we just want to give enough time to our neighbors to have their say. But over the long weekend, we just missed the date. We were really busy, frankly, and we just completely missed the date. And because we are not planning to use that patio this summer anyways, we saw no problem with just postponing this.
So, I'm sorry, are you saying you're planning, you want to defer to consult with the neighbors?
No, sorry, we didn't have enough time to post the application that we needed to post, print and post on the entrance.
Okay.
We couldn't post it. Yeah, sorry, I didn't explain myself.
Okay. So the notice
Right, exactly.
of application was not posted.
Exactly. We didn't post it on time. We missed it by a few days.
I understand.
We just thought that that it was better to postpone it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Daniel, thank you for that. What you should know is that the decision of whether to defer or to hear the application today will be made by the panel, of course. And we have a situation in which there are registered speakers standing by who were prepared to speak to the application today. So what I'm going to do now is to speak to those speakers individually to see what their feeling would be, whether they would be agreeable to defer or whether in fact they wish to proceed and continue to hear the application today and to see a decision taken on it. So that's what I'm going to do now.
Right.
If you would stand by, please.
So,
okay. Moderator, who's our first speaker?
Beverly Bennett.
Okay, Beverly, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to ask you one question, and this is not regarding the application itself, but it's regarding what you'd like to do. The agent has asked to defer the application because the agent basically failed to put up the notification that is required to be posted. So the panel will decide this, but we'd like to know whether you would be in favor of deferring or whether you would prefer to go ahead this afternoon and to go through the application and to have it heard. We can do it either way, but this is just for the information of the panel who will make the decision. How would you feel?
Okay, I'm ready to go ahead, and I think I would prefer if we went ahead.
Go ahead. Thank you very much. That's all we need for now. Stand by. We'll now go on to the next speaker.
Darlene Herbert is on the line and unmuted.
Hi, Darlene.
Hello.
Hi, Darlene.
Hi.
Okay, so you got the gist of what's going on here now.
Yes.
So my question to you is same one. Are you ready to? Do you want to go ahead now and hear the application, or would you agree to having it deferred?
No, we're quite prepared to go ahead. We would not prefer it to be deferred at this time.
Very good.
We
That's
need
all.
to go ahead and get a decision.
Very good. Stand by, and that's what I needed to know.
Sorry, through you, Mr. Chair. The applicant has obviously raised the fact that he has not provided proper notification by posting the sign. This is a more or less an automatic deferral because improper notification has been given.
Okay, so for
Mr.
Bev and
Chair?
Darlene, for Bev and Darlene,
This is exactly my question. I do not think
excuse me.
procedurally we can allow the hearing to go ahead because we failed to inform the public. I do not think it's a matter of opinion whether we can go or not. It's just technically we cannot do it.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, so to those that have registered and who are standing by to speak, and we appreciate your having taken the time and effort to do that, both to register and then to subsequently stand by to speak. I am informed by the Deputy Secretary Treasurer of a very important point which I hadn't quite thought of, and that is that because the notification was not properly displayed, one of the rules of the Committee of Adjustment was missed. It has to be, for public information, it does have to be posted. So in that it was not posted, we really can't go ahead because there will be members of the public who will say, or who could say, I didn't even know there was an application. So in the interest of following the rules as closely as we should, we basically have an automatic situation in which a deferral should be granted. So I'm not going to come to the next three speakers. I'm going to go now to the panel itself with what we all know about the situation, and we can take this matter now into committee for a motion or for discussion. But, yeah,
Sorry,
motion.
through you, Mr. Chair, perhaps on public record, we should go through the materials that have been submitted for the file
Sure.
before we go into.
Okay. Ms. Hayes, I'll ask you to hang on for just a moment, please. Well, we read into the record the materials before us at this point in time. Before the panel now are the materials submitted by the applicant. There is a staff report from Community Planning, September 7th. There is correspondence in concern or interest from 315 Markham Street, 27th of August. And there is opposition correspondence from 456 College Street, Unit 510, from 510 Bathurst Street, and there is a 73 signature petition in opposition, signed by the owners of 456 College, 307, 311, 315, 317, 319, and 323 Markham Street. Also from 462 and 468 College, and from 506 Bathurst. All received on or before September the 6th. So those are the materials that the committee has before it at this stage. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the panel. And panel, the Deputy Secretary Treasurer informs me this is basically an automatic kind of a situation because of that failure to post. Very unfortunate. So I'll look to panel for a motion, please. Ms. Hayes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it is unfortunate. First of all, I want to acknowledge the efforts of everyone to be participating today and what was written in. Unfortunately, part of the requirements is not just the mailed notice, but the posted notice. And so we would not be properly constituted. So I believe that we must defer the application. Just by way of comment, I would encourage the applicant to review the submissions that have been received, stating objections, and see whether or not there's any conversations that could occur to potentially have some more dialogue with respect to this before the matter coming back. But at the end of the day, that's up to the applicant. But I would move to defer the application because the statutory notice was not met.
Thank you very much. Mr. Byatt.
Hi, Zahir, you are muted. If you can unmute yourself. Zahir.
Sorry, I
Yep.
keep forgetting. This is in support of Ms. Hayes's motion, but I'd also just like to add a comment of, for the applicant. The planning staff report does have some conditions. So prior to coming back again, perhaps they should address those conditions prior to submitting another application. Having said that, I'll second the motion that Ms. Hayes put forward.
Thank you very much. And excellent suggestions from both Ms. Hayes and Mr. Byatt to the applicant. Hopefully we'll gain something from this exercise. But it is moved now and seconded to defer the application for the reasons cited. All those in favor of the motion, show of hands, please. That is a unanimous vote to carry the motion and to defer the application because of a statutory requirement not having been met with respect to posting of the notice. So our apologies to those speakers standing by. We will not be hearing from you this afternoon. The panel with that moves on to item number 22. 178 Booth Ave. And on this we have correspondence in support from 180 Booth Avenue. Oh, sorry, pardon me. That's just received today, or 2 days ago. And we also have the applicant's original materials, a staff report from Community Planning, and correspondence in support from 176 Booth Avenue. Helen and Martin Lewis Bright would appear to be next door. So, the agent for this application is Mr. De Oliveira, and we'll ask him to join us now by stating his name, please.
Hi, my name is Mike De Oliveira. I am the agent acting on behalf of 170 Booth Avenue, and I'm with Replacement Design located at 911 Davenport Road.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Panel members on number 22. Any questions for the applicant? Presentation requested? No, there's not. Okay. In that case, I'll look to panel for a motion on the application, please. Mr. Byatt, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to put forward a motion to approve the application as it stands. It's very reasonable. It's a very straightforward application. There are recommendations from, I'm sorry, I believe it may be conditions from planning regarding privacy screens, but that's about it. Other than that, I think it's an application that's good to go.
And are you including that, you're including the condition?
Yes, absolutely, yes, I beg your pardon.
And that is seconded by Ms. Chan. So moved.
Yes.
Moved and seconded to approve, subject to privacy screening being installed. Those in support, show of hands, please. Motion is carried. The application is approved. We move along to 952 Logan Avenue, which is number 23 on the agenda. And on this application, we have applicant's materials. We have a cover letter from the agent, 8 September. There's email also from the agent, 8 September. There's a staff report from community planning and correspondence in support from 954 Logan, 51 Arundel, and 63 Arundel. So we'll ask now the agent to join us, please, by stating your name.
Good afternoon, members of the committee. My name is Simon Rollins, and I'm the agent for the owners of 952 Logan Avenue.
Good afternoon to you. Okay, panel. Any questions for Mr. Rollins? Hearing none, I'll look to the panel for a motion, please. Ms. Hayes, proceed.
Thank you. Having reviewed all the material on file, I think that what's being proposed is not out of character with the existing built form and emerging sort of changes that are existing in this part of the city and on this street in particular. I think it meets the tests under the Planning Act. One of the neighbors has no objection, and rear neighbors have also indicated they have no objection. So if my colleagues have no further comment, I would move to approve the application subject to the conditions in the planning report with respect to screening.
Thank you. Is there a second? There is a second by Mr. Byatt. Moved and seconded to approve, subject to planning recommendations. All in favor? Unanimous vote carries the motion, approves the application. And we move on to number 24, 188 Montclair. Pardon me, number 23, 952. I'm sorry, start again here. We are moving on to 24, 188 Montclair.
Sorry, never mind. Disregard.
Okay, so we're now on number 24, 188 Montclair, on which application we have before us applicant's materials, presentation materials submitted by the applicant on September 8, correspondence to support from 624 Lonsdale, and opposition correspondence from 629 Lonsdale. And checking with you, moderator. Do we have a speaker registered standing by in opposition or concern?
No, we do not.
Just the agent?
Yeah, the party in interest will not be participating.
Okay. So on this application, there is simply the agent to hear from. And we'll ask the agent to join us, please, by stating your name.
Hi, Mr. Shakiri, you are unmuted on our end. If you can unmute yourself on your end or increase your microphone volume so we can hear you. Through you, Mr. Chair, I can try giving him a call till then, I guess. And we can
Well, if you want to try him one time now, we can just stand by for a second. And if not, we'll go on to the next application and come back.
Hello. Yes, do you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hi, Ali. If you have anything playing in the background, if you're on speaker, please use your handset. If you have anything playing in the background, please mute it. We hear some feedback from your microphone. And just speak directly into your microphone. I'll try to unmute you again.
Oh.
Hi, can you try speaking again?
Yes, do you hear me well?
Yes.
Perfectly.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Shakiri.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, okay. Very good. Let's go to the panel now. Panel on 188 Montclair. Would anyone like a presentation? No? Are there any questions for the agent? Mr. Byatt, go ahead, please.
I don't have any questions, and I'm looking at the application, and I'm quite satisfied that it, given the neighborhood that this property is being developed in, that it meets the various standards that we will look for. So I'm quite happy to bring forward a motion to approve the application as is.
Could I ask you to hold that for just a moment, please? Well, I
Certainly.
just I just want to mention that there was a letter of opposition on this from 629 Lonsdale, and I beg your pardon. I should have asked Mr. Shakiri to address this a moment ago, but Mr. Shakiri, there's a letter of opposition from 629, which is concerned about oversized houses in the area having been constructed recent years. Questions the aesthetic value of those, and cites that there are a couple on Montclair that are kind of fall into that category. And so basically the comment here is too much house for the lot. So could you address that concern, please?
Sure, indeed, sir. That objection, first of all, is not coming from an adjacent property. That the house objecting to that is the corner of the Bathurst and the street above us, so it's not very proximate. Regarding the size, as you can see on the list of variances we're asking, it's not basically we are not asking any side yard variance, any length variance, and the height variance that we're asking is actually helping us to control the volume of the house not being too high. I have provided supportive material of that. If your colleagues would be so kind as to display the graph number 2 and number 3 of my supporting material. And I cannot see the screen now. I'm just hoping that it is on. So what we've shown is that a conventional roof with a sloped, basically mansard roof could be actually a lot taller than this house, and besides if you can see on the graph number 3, the front portion of the house is pleasantly lower than the back side of the house. So from the streetscape angle of view, it's very friendly to the neighborhood. It's lower than the other adjacent neighbors. If we see the other variant, that is floor space index, we do know that the floor space index is not a definitive way of measuring the mass. Basically, all along, what I want to mention is that the size of this house, we are staying within the desired building envelope. So no side yard variance, no length, no front or rear side yard variances. And there are other examples of the recent developments. That would be the graph number 1. That you see the other very, very proximate recent approvals of the same, almost, actually they're all bigger than this one, but within the same category. So the other developments in the area are within the same scale. And there are presence of all different type of architecture in the area. I've provided some photos on the last few pages of my support material, and I'd like to mention that we do have written support from the 2 adjacent neighbors, number 186 and number 190. Number 186 is already on file, and you can see number 190 Montclair Avenue. They provided us a written support letter just today. That's why there was no time to send it to your colleagues to upload it. And also there is another support from one of the houses on Lonsdale, which is the street immediately above us. It's the same street that you can see the objection letter, but this one that is supporting is actually closer to the subject house. So I don't have any further comments, but I'd be more than glad to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, that helps us on that. Just addressing what was expressed in the letter. Mr. Byte, thank you for your patience. I'm not sure.
No
about
problem.
Back to you, please.
So, as I said earlier, I have no problem in supporting this application as is. I move that we accept the application without any conditions.
Thank you. And that is seconded by Ms. Chan. So, it is moved and seconded to approve the application. All those in favor, show of hands, please. Unanimous vote carries the motion, and the application is approved. Thank you. We move on to number 25.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I have to leave now. I'm very sorry to all of you. Thank you for staying, but I really have to leave now.
I was aware that
from the daycare.
We still have quorum, Mr. Chang. Thanks for your efforts today, and I knew that was happening. So the best to you. We'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Okay then. On number 25, we are dealing with 1364 St. Clair Ave West. And we have before us nothing but the materials submitted by the applicant. So, on this application, there's only the agent registered to speak, and we'll ask the agent now to join us, please, by stating your name.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is Marin Zabzuni at 1140 the Queensway.
Thank you very much. Okay, panel, any questions for this agent? If not, we can move to a motion. Ms. Chan, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I studied the material and also the site actually is very appropriate to increase density and create good rental units. The only thing that the only comment I should make, although it's not part of the variance, is that it is part of the symmetry and the front elevation is the perfect symmetry to the neighbor, and that's going to go. I know. And it's a shame, but I'm in support of the application. And there aren't any conditions that I'm aware of.
So you're moving to approve, and that is seconded, I see, by Mr. Byatt. So moved and seconded to approve. Those in favor? Show of hands, please. Unanimous vote carries the motion. The application is approved. Thank you. On item number 26, 20 Mackenzie Crescent, we have the application materials submitted by the applicant, and we have support correspondence in the form of 8 letters, form letters, from owners, occupants at 6, 12, 14, 16, 22, 24, 25, and 40 Mackenzie. Okay. And we shall ask the agent to join us again, please, by stating your name.
Hello again. My name is Mike Oliver. I'm with Replacement Design, located at 911 Davenport Road, and you're representing 20 Mackenzie Crescent. I promise it's the last one.
Very good. Good afternoon once again. Okay. Panel members, on number 26, do you have questions for the applicant? No. If we can move to a motion, let's do it. Who'd like to make a motion? Ms. Hayes, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Having reviewed all the material on file, I note that the existing FSI is 1.26. What's being proposed in the context of the neighborhood in terms of size and character, I don't think is out of character. It has wide-reaching support. Both neighbors support it, and I'd be prepared to move a motion to approve the application, no conditions.
Thank you. Seconded by Mr. Byatt. So, there is a motion moved and seconded to approve without condition. All those in favor, show of hands, please. Unanimous vote. Motion carried. Application is approved. Thank you. And we move on to item number 27. '62 St. Anne's Road. Here the panel is dealing with applicant's materials. Cover letter from the agent, 8th of June. And support correspondence. 4 form letters, 5263 St. Anne's, 3 Rusholme Park Crescent, and 55 St. Anne's. And we'll ask the agent now to join us, please, by stating your name.
Hi, Matthew Kingston. I'm one of the owners of the property.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Okay, this is an interesting one, and I don't know if anyone else wants to ask for a presentation. I'm going to ask briefly for you to explain the unusual grading on the property and and how it works that you can propose to put a pool on top of your garage.
I'd love to dork out on this, so happy to present. So we actually, our house, our front door is at the top of bank of the former Garrison Creek. And in the top right-hand photo that's being displayed right now, this is standing in our backyard. The grade of our backyard is level with the roof of our garage. And that garage is 12 feet tall. So the grading condition from our backyard to the slab of our garage is a 12-foot difference. Those houses that you see directly behind us, our neighbors behind us, we almost look into their third story. So the grading continues down in that way because their front yard was the former creek. So it's quite a unique grading condition. And what it means is if you look on either side of us, literally 5 houses to the west and 4 houses to the east, everybody has availed themselves of making use of this area because it's a very unique grading condition. So everybody has sort of fenced in this area and turned it into their backyard. What we're doing, if you go to the very last slide of this presentation, oh, sorry, that first one's probably a good context. So coming out of our first floor is the first deck, which is called the new upper deck. So that is flush with our first floor. You then go down 3 steps to a lower deck, which sits atop our garage. Directly west of us is a staircase that our neighbor uses to get down from their backyard to their garage. Same on the east side, you'll see they have a staircase as well. And both neighbors on both sides of us have fencing around their garage on top to enclose that area so they can use it as a yard similar to what we would like to do. So there's a lot of precedent on either side of us. And they are both supportive of our application, but our neighbors to the west are older. They've been in and out of the hospital quite frequently recently, so they have not been able to formally sign anything. And to the east of us, they're just a very cautious family who doesn't like a lot of contact, especially not during COVID. So we've had discussions with them, but usually at a distance, and they said they verbally supported everything. Just to give context how the pool works, if you just go to the last slide, please. So this is the fun part. It's a cross section through our backyard. So what it shows is we actually previously attained a minor variance to connect our basement to our garage. So that's that portion. If you hit Shift Control Plus, I think that'll rotate it 90 degrees all at the same time. Yeah, perfect. So what you see here is the lowest level is our basement level. On the right-hand side, you come out into this basement extension that then goes down 9 steps, and you're on level with our garage. What we're doing is we're building a steel structure that basically is like a shelf, 8 feet in the air. So the pool sits half inside the garage and half outside. It's a prefabricated shipping container pool built in Leduc, Alberta. It's super cool. So basically all the guts of the pool and everything are buried inside of it. And then what'll happen is when you come out of our first floor, there's an upper deck that we're planning. You go down 3 steps and you'd be on a deck then on top of the roof of the garage, and that'll be flush with the lip of the pool.
Thank you very much for that. It makes sense, and I'm pleased to hear you explain it and appreciate it. Thank you.
It's a wonky one. I won't. And sorry, one other fun note. I'm 6'9", so one of the variances we're looking for is for the fences to be 6'6", so that our neighbors don't see my chin floating above the fence as we walk around in the backyard.
Very good. Okay. Panel, any questions for this applicant? Ms. Chan, go ahead. No. Oh, no.
I don't have a question here to answer my question. I was going to ask how he's going to get from his garage to his house. From the site plan, you cannot see it. But then I said, they must have got this all figured out. So, so I did ask that question. But I think that I can understand the proposal, and then it is an innovative way to make use of the site, and also, as he indicated, that neighbors have been doing the same thing, and I do not think that the proposal will create any kind of negative impact. So I'm ready to move for approval.
Thank you very much.
If any other comments?
Is there a second to that motion?
Just a quick comment in that I think I would second Ms. Chen's motion, which should be putting forward with no conditions, and I do find this an extremely innovative proposal.
Okay. It is moved and seconded.
I just have one question.
Go
It's
ahead.
more out of curiosity than anything. So with respect to the variance, with respect to setbacks for pools, basically, on the east side, the steps for the neighbor, I guess, how high is the fence going to be there? Like, there's not any, from a safety perspective.
So the fence is 6'6" is what we've proposed on the application, which is 6 inches taller than typical. And their stairs start kind of where our lower deck starts, but the deck is slightly taller than grade because it's on top of the garage. So you'd be at least 7.5 feet. Is your concern somebody climbing the fence?
Yeah, nobody's gonna like climb the fence and immediately fall into a pool.
I don't think so. Not at that point, because you would be maybe 8 or 9 risers down. So you'd be 8 feet or so more down. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. It is moved and seconded to approve. So I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor, show of hands, please. And that vote is unanimous to carry the motion. The application is so approved. Thank you. With that, panel moves to 28 item on our agenda, 241 Jarvis and 200 Dundas Street East. And on this application, moderator, we have a project manager. Is the project manager standing by? No. So we just have the agent with us on this application. No one registered in opposition. Okay. We'll ask the agent please to join us, and I'm just going to read first. Before you do, I'll just read off the materials that the panel is dealing with. We have before us applicant's materials, a cover letter dated 24 June, email correspondence from the agent, 15 July. There are the Committee of Adjustment decisions from 2014, 15, and 18, which affect the property. And there is correspondence from the Indigenous Affairs Office of Economic Development and Culture, received 9 July, and a copy of the site-specific bylaw which affects the property. It is 1341-2013. So we'll ask the applicant now to join us, please, by stating your name.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is Eric Saraki from McElroy Architects at 161 Spadina Avenue, acting on behalf of the City of Toronto Division of Economic Development and Culture.
Ah, thank you. Okay. Okay. Panel members, questions? Mr. Byatt, go ahead, please.
Just out of curiosity, this is the brand new building that's been put up by the Gupta Group, I believe.
Correct.
So the Indigenous Innovation Center is presumably housed in this building, and that's the application is related to the use of space within that for that purpose.
Yes, that's correct. The space was provided as part of the Section 37 development application, and we are requesting a minor variance to expand upon the allowable square footage, just based on part of the design process we discovered that we could avail ourselves of some additional square footage based on the double height nature of the space, essentially.
Sounds very interesting. Thank you.
Very good. Ms. Chen, carry on.
Yeah, if there are any other comments, and I think that this is a very good change, and actually it's got support by the ICIE, and then I will have a motion for approval with no conditions.
Is there a second? There is a second, Ms. Hayes. So, it is moved and seconded to approve, no conditions. Those in favor, hands please. Unanimous vote carries the motion, and the application is approved without condition. Which takes us to the final item of the day's agenda. This is number 29, 19 Edith Avenue, on which application we have before us the applicant's submitted materials and support correspondence. There are 4 form letters in support signed by the owners or occupants of 9, 15, 17, and 21 Edith Avenue. And those were received before or on the 7th of May, 2021. And on this application, we have with us just the agent, and we'll ask the agent to join us, please, by stating your name.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members, for taking the time to review our application today and staying until the end. My name is Carolina Tavas Ruland. I am the applicant, and I'm also the homeowner of 19 Edith Avenue. I'm here with my husband and my daughter, so apologies for any background noise you may hear.
Okay, panel, anyone here with a question on this application? I do have one for you, applicant, and that is, am I correct in thinking that your house is one of a row of 3 houses?
Yes.
And
we're in the middle.
You're in the middle, okay. And does your proposal change the roof line of the elevation which faces the street at all?
It will increase about 2 feet, which actually will still be below one of the neighbors that would be on 17 Edith Avenue. So it will just, that's the rear facade. So if you could go, that's the existing front. So there will be about 2 feet increase. And as I said, it will still be below. It's below the existing chimney, and the idea was to not touch the front roof, so that like there is still unity within the facades, and it won't affect much how it looks right now.
Okay, so the rhythm of the gables remains.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, I have no further questions. Panel, then, if anyone is ready to move to a motion. Ms. Hayes, please proceed.
Thank you. I think that this really a minor change to the application. They're undertaking to use the attic space and have a small 3rd-story addition, which is about 42.5 square feet, which is the addition. I think it is truly minor. It has the support of both immediate neighbors, and I would move to approve the application with no conditions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Byatt seconds that motion.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Okay, panel, final vote of the day. All those in favor of the motion? Motion is carried, and the application is approved without condition. So that does complete our agenda for the day. I'd like to express thanks to staff, Madam Deputy Secretary Treasurer, and staff for the meticulous preparation and support today on the technical aspect of things. And as always, to the committee members for their preparation and for their focus on the detail of getting through these applications and doing the job well. Thank you, everybody. It is now precisely 5:30, and the hearing is now terminated.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Sabrina and her team. Much appreciated.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.